Doesn't look like we have any guests. We have only partners. Is that correct? Welcome, my dear partners. So it looks like we are going to be talking to each other. Well, about 3 weeks ago, a month ago, my last daughter came looking for some pictures we took 2016. And she was like, we don't know what these pictures are. We don't have it. Are you sure we have it? So I now went into my cloud storage called God Backup, as you all know. And then I just said, let's search. And we started searching. We searched and then we started bringing out the pictures. And they were like, it is true. God Backup works. This is, and then they said, clock it. I said, that's right. Now, my question to you is, if you went to any member of your family or any friend of yours, and then you pose the same question, do you have pictures of 2016 or 2015? Will that person bring it out? I know you can bring it out because I believe you have God Backup. And even at that, if you really are using that service, you should be able to bring out pictures of 2020, 2014, if you really are using this fantastic service. This day, you all know, you will agree with me that our lives, professional, family, faith, business, is all in a gadget somewhere. The question is, it's not about that data you have on those gadgets. The question is, are they stored up? Are they protected? Are they accessible? Tonight, I want to welcome you to our presentation that will show you the value of using the service that we call God Backup. Now, let me come back to my first question. I see many more people logging in. If you are a guest, please type guest in the chat room for me and let me welcome you. Do I have a guest? If I don't, I'm going to move on. And tonight, I'm going to be your host. Someone else will join me, and then we will move on. Now, give me 2 seconds. Let me turn on my presentation. Let me share my screen. I can't see my screen shared. Okay. So I'm going to be talking to you tonight about
it's in your hand.
God Backup.
Your heart skips a beat.
I think I need it zoomed in, please. I'm going to be talking to you about a service that we call God Backup. I still don't have any guests, so I'm preaching to the choir. All right, no problem. God Backup is actually a service that will allow you have a safe, convenient, accessible digital life, and also help you earn some financial benefits alongside. What is God Backup? God Backup is simply a secure cloud storage service. It was developed 3 years ago by a company called Global Virtual Opportunities, and it's for all individuals who are interested. Once you have a gadget and you know that you have to store whatever you have on that gadget, it can be a phone, it can be a personal laptop, it can be a desktop, whatever gadget it is that holds any kind of information for you, you will be interested in this cloud storage service I'm talking about. Be it an organization, whoever wants to use God Backup can use it. It was developed, as I said, by Global Virtual Opportunities, an organization that was actually set up since 1997. I'm talking about almost how many years of experience? Almost 30 years of experience, if I'm not mistaken. God Backup, GVO, was set up in Quebec in Canada. I nearly spoke French, forgive me. And then moved to Texas in the US and owns its own data center. And if you look on this screen, you will see the physical address where GVO is actually located. Now, behind GVO, we have a whole team that is led by the CEO himself, Joel Thirin. And then you have different expertise in his team. He is on this team with mainly his wife, with whom he does a lot of things. And you have engineers, you have officers, you have front-end developers, you have software developers, technical engineers, technical support officers. And this is the team I'm talking about. I'm talking briefly about GVO because it's important for you to know and understand the truth that this is a company with the needed professionalism and the heart for what it does, and the the expertise that is needed. Now, why are we even talking about cloud storage? Very simple, simply because in our world, everything is on a gadget. We are not talking about safe, keeping money in a safe somewhere. We are not talking about cabinet. You have files in the cabinet. Yes, of course, if you go into some places, you will have files in cabinet, but that is even going away. So data is actually generated every single day, every single hour. We are talking about social media. We are talking about online transactions. We are talking about digital interaction here and there. And then we are talking about data, which is very, very valuable, which is produced through all these interactions. And we are not talking only about data in the air, because if you go and you do some research, you will see that we are producing from 400 to 500 million terabytes of data daily. That is the reality of what is happening. We produce it in the office, in the family, in school, at church, everywhere we are producing data. Okay. Now, as I said, all this data that we are producing, we need to store it up somewhere. And we are looking for solutions. Many solutions exist, but God Backup seems to be one of the famous solutions. To take us through this today, we are going to listen to one of our partners. His name is Benjamin Amanya. Okay, Nate Amanya. He's a medical lab scientist, and he's also the founder of Benalina Medical Lab Services. He is one of the leaders in this business, and he is doing so well. And tonight, he's going to bring to you the practical way of seeing the value in God Backup. It's not about cloud storage. It's about what that cloud storage gives you as value. Ben, please, if you are here, I want to invite you to now move on into the global trend number one that talks about God Backup as a solution with unlimited value to its users. Can we please welcome Ben? Ben, over to you.
Thank you very much, Reverend Bijou. You nearly massacred my name, but that is fine. Welcome.
My apologies.
Everybody. Oh no, it is okay. Some of these names you have to eat our local food before you are able to pronounce them. So next time I'll bring you some kokonte, which is the staple food for my people, for you to eat. Then you'll be able to pronounce the name very well. So I'm Benjamin Nate Amanya, and I am glad to take you through the services that God Backup has for us. So as we said, God Backup leverages on two massive global trends. And the first one is the use of smartphones. So statistics is telling us that as at the end of 2024, there were over 15 billion total mobile phones in the world. And as at the end of 2025, there were 8.6 billion mobile phones that were active. And when it comes to the smartphone users, as at the end of 2024, we had more than 4.9 billion people using mobile phones. Remember, the whole world, we are just about 8.1 billion. And as at 2024, there were almost 5 billion people using smartphones. And this number is expected to increase from this 4.8 million to about 6.4 billion by 2029. This tells us that everybody is now using mobile phones. Whether you like it or yes, we are all using mobile phones. This shows that there is a high demand for mobile phones. And whenever there is high demand for something, market growth is massive. And once there is high demand and market growth, then financial success is tied to it. Let us see why people are now so much in need of mobile phones. People now rely so much on cell phones. We are now addicted to cell phones that we can no longer do without them. Let me ask you, how uses the mobile phone whilst in the toilet? How many of us uses the mobile phone as our alarm clocks? How many of us will feel uneasy when we leave our mobile phones at home? Statistics tells us that about 80% of people now use their mobile phones as alarm clocks. We no longer use the traditional alarm clocks in our houses. We wake up by the mobile phone. And whenever we wake up, the first thing that we pick, most of us, is our mobile phones. And statistics is telling us that over 66% of people look onto their mobile phones 160 times a day. Can you imagine? 88% of people will feel uneasy whenever they leave their phones at home. Most of us will even go back and then what? Pick them. Yes, and as we are relying so much on mobile phone and generating so much data, one thing that also happened is what? Data loss. So data loss is growing day in and day out. Statistics is telling us that about 45% of cell phone users accidentally damage their phones and lose their data. Over 5,700 screens are cracked every hour, and a laptop or a cell phone is stolen every 43 seconds. Go to Circle by this time, somebody's phone or laptop is being stolen. Therefore, people are looking for solutions, and God Backup has solution for us. Okay? Data loss in computers is even more serious. As we speak now, on a yearly basis, 68% of businesses experience significant data loss every year. And this is due to one, human error, which accounts to up to about 75% of cases. So people make mistakes and then they lose their data. Another reason why computers and laptops are losing their data is because of hardware failure. We can no longer rely on the traditional method of data storage, the external drive, the pen drives. No, they will fail us. And once they fail, we lose all the data. The other thing that makes computers lose their data is software corruption. All that we hear is that a virus has taken over the computer, and the virus chops up or chews all the data that is on the computer, and we lose those data every day. So people are actually looking for what? Solutions. Companies, businesses are looking for solutions. So why should we choose God Backup? Why God Backup when there are other cloud services companies available? Yes, you need to choose God Backup because God Backup has so much for you that beats the other companies. And people want what? Value for their money. People are already using Google Drive, Dropbox, iCloud, and the rest. But because of the value that God Backup gives, people are now switching. They are now switching to God Backup. And let me tell you more reasons why you need to get God Backup. So, one, let's compare God Backup to the others in terms of the size of storage that is given to you, and then the number of users, and then the amount that you pay per year. God Backup is saying that come and use me. I will give you 6 terabyte space, and you may think this 6 terabyte is too much for you. Yes, God Backup has thought about that. And is saying that you can share this 6 terabyte with 5 other people, including yourself. 6, family and friends. You can give some to your mom, your dad, your wife, your husband, your children. And all this comes at a cost of $99.97, approximately $100 per year. Let's look at the others like iCloud. iCloud will give you 6 terabyte of space, that is 6,000 gig of space. You can also share with 6 users. However, you are going to pay 420 US dollars per annum. That is more than 4 times that of God Backup. Let's go to our brother Dropbox. Dropbox will say, come and use me. I'll give you 6 terabyte of space, but that is for just one user. And at the end of the month, you are going to pay 360 US dollars. That is more than 3 times that of God Backup. Then the popular Google Drive, which we the Android users are using, will tell you that I'll give you 6 terabyte of space, but that's going to be for 5 users, and you are going to pay $302 per annum. None of this beats God Backup. God Backup is the cheapest when it comes to cloud service. And that is why you need to come to God Backup. There is more. God Backup is saying that it will give you 6 terabytes as compared to 2 terabytes by others. And God Backup operates on multiple operating systems. It is only God Backup that can work on your Android phone, at the same time work on your iPhone, can work on your Linux phone, and can work on any other operating system at the same time. So you can have it running on your iPhone, running on your Android phone, and running on your computer, your desktop, wherever it will be working at the same time, unlike the others that work on just one. There is more. God Backup is the only cloud service that enables you to send bulk emails to your customers. So companies, organizations that send emails to their clients, God Backup got you covered. You can send these emails, and these emails will be personalized so that your staff or your clients are going to receive them with their names. Hello, Benjamin. Hello, Emmanuel. Hello, Asari. And then the message follows. So those of us who send messages during Christmas, Eid al-Adha, birthdays to your customers, please just come to God Backup. You can personalize them, send them as email, and this is fully automated. It is fully automated. Just set your date and your time, and then go and sleep. At their set time and date, these emails will be sent automatically to your clients. God Backup has more. Because of its price, people may is God Backup secured. The wonderful thing is that most of us using iPhone, iCloud, Google Drive, we never question about their security, even if we do fine. But we are proud to tell you that God Backup is highly secured. It is protected with a 256 military grade encryption. This is the highest security that is being used by the American military. It is also being used by Amazon, used by iCloud, used by Google Drive. So we are highly secured as compared to the others. And one thing about God Backup is that, which beats the others, is that within 30 days, if you are not satisfied with the services, you can come back for your money. No other cloud service does this. There is more. And this is for those who love social media. We have what we call God Backup Pro. You know, iPhone, when they come with iPhone 17, within some few months, they come out with iPhone 17 Pro. Then they go to iPhone 17 Pro Max. Whenever there is a Pro, then it means that more things have been added. So you can go God Backup Pro and you have a lot of things added to it. I'll just talk about MacOMax. That is one thing that helps people who are into social media. You know, for you to be present in all your social media handles, you need to be posting from one handle to the other. MacOMax has you covered. MacOMax will help you arrange your videos, arrange the number of times you want to post, and they will post on your social media groups or handles consistently, regularly for you. No cloud service has this except God Backup. And that is why we are preaching God Backup to you. Come and be part of us. Okay? So what is God Backup telling us? God Backup is saying that never lose your photos, never lose your videos, never lose your digital data ever again. Why? Because 98% of the work has been done for you. All that you need to do is just 2%, and you are good to go. Your memories are safe forever. And God Backup is taking over the world, one country at a time. God Backup started just 3 years ago, but as we speak, God Backup is in 165 countries. In the world, we have just 195 countries. So we are left with just 30 countries to take over the whole world. Ghana was country number 82 to start using God Backup, courtesy Professor K.O.E. Kweku Ohini Asare. He introduced Ghana to God Backup. And I'm proud to tell you that one of our bosses here, that is Boss Calvin, was the one who introduced Liberia to God Backup, or he opened up Liberia to God Backup. And then his sweet wife, Reverend Mrs. Birch, is the one that opened Senegal. So we are waiting for you. Come and join us. Maybe you'll be the next person to open the country 166. So thank you very much for listening to me. I'll hand over to Reverend Mrs. Birch to take over. Thank you.
Hey guys, welcome to the corporate office of God Backup. Now everybody wants to know, are we super secure? And how do we offer such an amazing service at such a low price? So this is in our tech room. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take you on a tour of our server room to show you just how secure it is, and we welcome you into the family. So let's go over to the server room. So the first thing I wanna explain to you guys is that we're fully PCI compliant. For physical PCI compliance, what does that mean? It means we're allowed to physically store credit cards in our data center because we're uber secure. So we've passed all the tests for that, and we're legally allowed to store credit cards and your storage. So one of the first requirements for PCI compliance is you have to have 2 coded doors before you get into your server room. We also, as a company, like to have fun, so we call it Area 51. So anyway, I'm gonna code this door with my back here so you guys can't see what the code is. Come in this way. This is a simple inventory room, guys. We build servers here and so forth. And then our second coded door is over here, okay? And so we have a coded door here as well to get into the server room. So here we are in the server room, guys. This is where all the magic happens. So couple of things people ask. Joel, how secure is my data, and could you ever lose our data? So as an example, let's come here. It's impossible to lose your data, and here's why. If you look at this storage array, and we have, you know, hundreds of storage arrays in here, there's 14 hard drives across this storage array. 4 of these hard drives could fail, which statistically never happens, but let's say it did. 4 of these hard drives need to fail before we start to lose some data. But guess what? We're not going to lose any data because this is striped to here. This whole rack of hard drives here is copied here. Just the same here. All these hard drives here are copied here. So there's not a single point of failure relative to your data. There's also no single point of failure in the server room. As an example, there's A power and B power. Every server is plugged into A power, every server is plugged into B power. Also, relative to cooling of this room, if you come over here, you'll see we have 1, 2, 3, 4 air conditioners in this server room. So the air is never going to be a problem. The other thing as well is we're very, very efficient. If you look up at the ceiling, let's come back over here, you'll see vents up there, and the cold air is strategically placed in front of the servers here, so it sucks in all the cold air, and it goes over into the hot aisle behind this wall here. So very, very efficient server room as well. And finally, if God forbid there was ever a fire in this room, we have here what's called a fire suppression system. What this system does, it's just a bunch of electronics behind here, but we can open it up, okay, is if God forbid there was a fire, and in 25 years there's never been a fire, but it will snuff out all the oxygen in this room. If there's no oxygen, then the fire goes out, right? So we don't use water to destroy the equipment. So that's the basics of the server room. Super, super secure and super redundant relative to your data. So the other aspect of security is we use the exact same security as Amazon, as Google, as all the big players, Microsoft. It's patented security, it's military grade, 256-bit encryption security. So your stuff is very secure. So let's come out of the server room for now. And I also want to explain, if God forbid, a bomb dropped on this building, a hurricane came in, whatever, a flood, which statistically is impossible, but if it did happen, we also back up all of your cloud data to a third-party data center just in case something ever happened to this building. And again, it's never happened, but you just never know, right?
So welcome back. Thank you so much, Ben, for that great presentation, for showing us the value that God Backup has. If I wake up tomorrow morning and my laptop is not working anymore, I will not care about it. Why? Because I have my peace of mind. Why do I have my peace of mind? Simply because everything I have is backed up in the cloud storage called God Backup. It gives me peace of mind. And I know that I can access my documents, my files, anywhere, anytime. I mean, at my own leisure. That is what the value of God Backup is. And no matter what happens to any of my gadgets, there's continuity. My files from the office are not stored on an external drive. They are in the cloud. So if anything happens to the server in the office, I just need to go into God Backup. Continuity of my work is assured. That is the value of God Backup. Ladies and gentlemen, God Backup is actually a combo. I opened DRC when I was working there, and I spoke about God Backup to my colleagues in the office. I have seen them struggle. I struggled with them, and at a point, I found this solution, And then I told them, you don't need to struggle deleting whatever you have on your phone or getting upset because your email is clogged, your personal email is clogged, and you don't know what to do. When I saw God Backup and I decided to take it seriously, I decided to talk to people about it in the DRC. And it opened a whole team there. I've been gone for the past 7 months, and I can tell you, God Backup is live and colored. And it moved from DRC into Senegal, now in Burundi. That's how interesting it is. And that brings me to the second global trend of God Backup, the opportunity that this great value-added cloud storage service brings to you. And that's why I call it the combo. The combo, because you enjoy the service and you are able to tell other people about it, and then the company will now reward you. So this is what we call the strategic partnership that GVO offers you. You are strategically positioned, because we are talking about cloud storage. When you are strategically positioned, you are open to great rewards with God Backup. And it is the only cloud storage service that pays you while you use it. But remember, it is not by force. It is not compulsory for you to do this part of it. But if you are a strategic person, you don't need to do it. Just do it and be consistent in doing it, and you will see the beautiful rewards. Now, this next slide talks about online activities moving from the bottom to the top of the table. Please, I want you to pay attention to this very well, and then we will move on to the next slide. Excellent. Our whole life is online. If it is not fully online, it's hybrid. If we are doing a meeting, there are some people who are online and there are some people who are in person. Everything is online. And when things are online, you must understand, ladies and gentlemen, that you have to be online as well. And if GVO is talking about this great opportunity that it offers its clients to promote God Backup as they are using it and enjoying the value, I like saying this, and I'll repeat it again. God Backup is not only about 6 terabytes, it goes beyond the 6 terabytes. It's the value that it has to your life. So when it has that value, it has an impact on you, and you also would want to impact other people. Then when God Backup, when GVO is talking about this in terms of money, it is drawing from the cloud computing market and what is happening inside that market, because that is where all the big players are: Amazon, iCloud, Google Drive, plus God Backup. There are billions of dollars that are rolling in yearly in that market. And that is why GVO, with a compassionate heart, understanding the need of helping people, not only by backing up their digital life, but also giving them the opportunity to have their financial dream come true. Everything is coming from this computing market. You will see that the cloud computing market, as it was predicted that in 2025, we're going to have some few billions of dollars. I think it was like 200 and something billion US dollars that was supposed to have come out of this market. At the end of 2025, it became 400 billion US dollars. That's how much came out of the cloud computing market. Ladies and gentlemen, We are in 2026. There is more to come. You want to be part of this move. And that is why I like the terminology, strategic partners. Position yourself strategically and be consistent in your positioning. Now, how does GVO use this particular cloud computing market that brings in money through the subscription to God Backup to make us, those of us who are interested in making some money out of the opportunity to get it? The system is very simple. The first thing you need to do is to get yourself a package of God Backup. This particular 199.97 is the family package, annual subscription for the service with all the value that it brings. Then you need to pay $20 in addition to get yourself to become a strategic partner, where you are strategically positioned to start talking to others and start earning some good money. So you purchase a package. Next, we are talking about 3 different packages that God Backup comes in. The first one is what we call the family package, which is at, let's round this up to $100 for a year. Then we have the God Backup Pro with the 5-6 additional functionalities. For me, it's not even about the functionality, it's the value that these functionalities add to your life and to your community and to your business. And it's coming for only $220 a year. So that is the God Backup Pro package for you. You can start with that. Or you can start if you have a big organization that needs more than 6 terabytes, which is the enterprise solution that gives you 20 terabytes. You pay $700 one time, then you pay $600 yearly. Then you get yourself in the position of a strategic partner. How do you earn? How does GVO pay? 7 ways. The first one is paid immediately. Somebody joins or somebody subscribes to the service, which we call the customer acquisition bonus. How does it work? The customer acquisition bonus simply means anytime you invite someone, you talk to someone about the value that using God Backup as a cloud storage service brings, and the person decides to subscribe with the family package, you are giving 50% of that $100, 99.97. That is 49.97. I round it up to $50. Then when that person subscribes, you get the $50 immediately in your system. As simple as that. So imagine the potential of that. If within a month you get 100 people, or even 50, or even 10 that decide to subscribe to have this value added to their lives, 50 times 10 is 500. That's an extra that Google Drive will not give you, because you have told your friend that I've subscribed to Google Drive. You to subscribe to Google Drive. Google Drive does not care, does not even know that you are telling other people. But with God Backup, you can make some good additional income. If it is the enterprise solution, you will get 25% of the $600. When it's the God Backup Pro, you will get $75 as customer acquisition bonus. Ladies and gentlemen, the potential of this is unlimited. It depends on what you want and the kind of impact you want to make. Now, let's quickly move to the second match bonus. The second match bonus is a system in which you are paid based on percentages. Now, in the business, or let's say in the strategic partnership, you have to rank up. And at each rank, there is a criteria. When you are able to meet the criteria, then you are able to move up. So when you get in, and then you speak to your brother, your sister, your spouse, your friend, your schoolmate, your boss about God Backup, and the person gets in, you become a bronze. You talk to another person, you become a copper. And then when you reach the third level, silver, there is another criteria until you move up and you become a sapphire. When you become a sapphire, personally, you must have enrolled at least 10 people personally. And then when I say personally, it means you have earned customer acquisition bonus on those people. So when you become a sapphire, then you start enjoying the second match bonus. When you are a sapphire, you enjoy 25%. Let me quickly explain what it means. It means that, let's say, instead of 10 minimum, you have like 15 or 20 people that you brought in directly. Now, at the end of the month, as I said, the other bonuses are paid at the end of the month. Then at the end of the month, out of your 20, each one of them was able to make 1,000 US dollars. What happens to you? The system will pay 25% of that 1,000 US dollars on each of these 10 people. Now, 10% of 25% of 1,000, that's 250. Multiplied by 10, that makes it 250 times 10, that's 2,500. Even when you are not moving so fast, and in 6 months that you made that 2,500, trust you me, that's an additional revenue for you. My house is jamming with football fans. I'm sorry about that. We didn't want Argentina, but Argentina has happened. Now, let's say, even if not 1,000, even if each one of these 10 people were able to make just 500 each or 200 each, 25% of that. If I'm using my iCloud as I am using, I was not going to get the 25%. That's the truth of the matter. And that is why we call it a strategic partnership. Just get yourself into this. Get yourself the cloud storage. And then get into the strategic partnership. Now, when you move to Emerald, we are talking about 50%. 50% of 1,000, that's 500. Multiplied by 10, that's 5,000. The potential is enormous. The potential is so powerful that if you stay at it, and then you keep telling people, at the end of the day, it will happen. So when you move into Diamond, we are talking about 100%. I love that 100% thing. If one or two of my people that are working with me, each one of them at the end of the month get 5,000 or even 2,000, I get the same amount. That's the truth of the matter. Is it magic? No, it's not magic. It is hard work. It is the truth that you believe in what it is, and you know that you are strategic. So I will keep telling people, if it's only one person a day that I tell about Go Backup, if the person does not subscribe immediately, the fact that I follow up, eventually that person will see the value in what it is all about. So this is what it is about, being a strategic partner and earning extra from using God Backup. Next slide. Let's roll on. Let me give you a quick summary of what we have been talking about. It is the best cloud storage backup service so far because it comes with loaded value. The email system is amazing. You can have unlimited devices and the security is high. Multi-operating system, that's an added value. We are talking about plug-in system. When you speak to type and you can, that system can read documents for you, can translate it. You have support, you have trainings, you have mentorship, you have personal development, you have community leverages. Next slide. And all of this is just a matter of you choosing one of the packages. It can be the Go Backup Pro, it can be the family pack, it can also be the enterprise solution. How do you pay? Simple. Use your Visa card. It can be credit or debit. It can be a MasterCard. If you do not have any of the above, simple. Whoever has invited you, just send the money Momo. The person will get into the system, generate a subscription link and send to you. You just click. It's just less than 5 minutes. You would have gotten yourself subscribe to God Backup. I have already talked about the support we have, and this photo is talking about the Cloud Revolution Experience 2025 last November, when the CEO and his wife were in town, and then there was a big event in East Legon. These are some of the pictures that we have, just to let you know that God Backup in Ghana is moving to a very high level, and we have just started. It's a service that you will agree with me that gives value to everyone. Imagine everybody you know has peace of mind. Everybody you know knows that his or her data is protected. Everyone needs it. And as you go for the service, you have the opportunity to become a strategic partner. So you have two things happening to you: your digital life and your financial life. Life has its own reality. So if you are wise, you make a very good decision. Let's move on. Do not, if you are on this call, you have been invited, please do not say, I will do it in the next 5 months. Today is the time for you to make this decision and say, I want it now. You might think you do not have the money now. Okay, when you really make up your mind, you should be able to raise $120 in the shortest possible time, and then you have consistent. Let's move to the next slide. Consistent. Let's move to the next slide. You have some figures here, 5,000 plus. You have some figures, 6,000 plus, 8,000, all of them in USD, by the way. You have 3,000 here. You have 5,425 here. Then you have a Ghana cedis, 72,000 plus Ghana cedis. Ladies and gentlemen, this business is real. You will not start today and make the 5,000. You might start with $10. You might start with $50. But when you keep at it and you align yourself and you really want it to work for you, even if it takes so long, it will come to pass. There's some frequently asked question. Is that right? That we have lined up here. I don't know if you have any question, but I can run through them and tell you that your data is secure. If that is your thinking, is my data secure? What subscription plans do we have available? I've spoken about them. We have the God Backup Pro, the family, the business. Then why should I choose God Backup over other cloud storage? The value is amazing. You have your peace of mind. You can access your data across all your devices because they are all synchronized. It also offers an affiliate program that allows you to earn extra money if you really want to do that. Who can use God Backup? Everyone can use it. Do I need to be an affiliate to use God Backup? The answer is no. You can go in for the subscription and not opt to be an affiliate or a strategic partner. Can I access my data from multiple devices? I've already said it. Whatever you have in all your devices, if there are 100, you can access it in each of them, even if it is not your own device. Suppose your laptop is not working, you can access it in another laptop. Next slide, please. What happens if I lose my device? Your data remains safe. I've already said it. Does God Backup support mobile devices? Yes, of course. All of them, Android, iOS, etc. How credible is GVO? You've seen it at the beginning of the presentation. That is a credible organization with over 28 years of experience in, in different areas when you are talking about data. And then can I transfer my data from my Google Drive to God Backup? Yes, you can get into a link and then move stuff from your Google Drive into the cloud of God Backup. Ladies and gentlemen, on this note, I say thank you so much for being with us tonight. I think we